So here we're looking at a 45, 45, 90 triangle. So what we need to remember is that we have x, and x is our legs, and then x radical 2 for our hypotenuse. So again, make sure we know that across the 90-degree angle is our hypotenuse, which will be longer than the two legs. So since both the legs are x here, we know one leg is 6, therefore the other leg is going to be the exact same thing. They're both x. X can't represent two different values. And then to find our hypotenuse, we just need to plug in our x into here and multiply that by radical 2, and we get both of our answers. So when you're given the leg and it's a whole number, it's pretty easy. Now, what can also happen is when you're given a whole number, but this time our whole number is our hypotenuse, it's not our leg here. So we're not given x, we're given x radical 2, which means that we need to solve for x. So what we know is that x radical 2 equals 8. So now we need to solve for x. So to do that, we're going to divide by radical 2, and that gets x all by itself. So right now x equals 8 over radical 2. However, we can't have that radical on the bottom, so we got to multiply top and bottom by the radical on the bottom. So since we have radical 2 on the bottom, that's what we multiply by. On the top, we get 8 radical 2. On the bottom, we multiply inside the radicals, and we get 4. However, we still got that radical down there, but we know that the square root of 4 equals 2. And we can cross those out, and we get 4 radical 2. So that gives us our x. And lucky for us, in a 45, 45, 90, both legs are going to equal x, which means that both legs are 4 radical 2. Now, once again, things may get a little more difficult here. In this example, we have our leg, which means that we also have this leg, but now we have a radical in our leg as well. So here's our x radical 2. That was our x. That was our x. So now we need to substitute in 3 radical 2 for x, but now we still need to multiply this radical 2 as well. So we multiply these. We multiply what's on the outside, just the 3. Then we multiply underneath the radical, which becomes 4. Okay, we know that the square root of 4 is 2, which gives us our final answer of 6. Okay, then one more type of example is now we have x radical 2, x, and x. Okay, and again, we're given the hypotenuse this time. So we know that x radical 2 equals 6 radical 2. To get x by itself, divide by that radical 2. And now, because these cancel out here, we're left with just 6, which means that x equals 6, and our other leg must equal 6 as well.